Welcome to the Forbidden Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of ancient flood myths, we unearth a startling concept: the idea of a global reset. A cataclysmic event so powerful, so all-consuming, that it reboots the world, wipes the slate clean, and sets the stage for a new beginning. It's a concept that echoes throughout the ages, reverberating in the psyche of cultures separated by vast oceans and sprawling continents. Could this be mere coincidence, or is there a grain of truth concealed within these ancient tales? The Sumerians, one of the earliest human civilizations, have left us with the Epic of Gilgamesh, an epic poem inscribed in cuneiform on clay tablets, dating back to the 18th century BC. Within this grand narrative, we find the story of Utnapishtim, a man who is instructed by the gods to construct an ark to save himself, his family, and a collection of animals from a catastrophic flood intended to wipe out humankind. Fast forward a few centuries to ancient Greece, where we encounter the tale of Deucalion and Pyrrha. Warned by his father, Prometheus, Deucalion builds a chest to shelter himself and his wife Pyrrha from a divine deluge sent by Zeus to purge the world of the wickedness of men. After 9 days and nights, the waters recede, and the couple emerged, tasked with repopulating the earth. And of course, the biblical account of Noah's Ark is one of the most well-known narratives of a world-destroying flood. Commanded by God to build an ark, Noah saves his family and a pair of every creature from a deluge that lasts 40 days and 40 nights, decimating all life on earth. These stories, though originating from distinct cultures and periods, share a hauntingly similar narrative: a divine warning, the construction of a vessel, the preservation of life, and the subsequent destruction and rebirth of the world. Could these narratives be echoes of the same ancient memory, a global catastrophe that reshaped our planet and left an indelible mark on the collective human psyche? Such a concept may seem fantastical, yet geological evidence suggests that the Earth has witnessed several mass extinction events throughout its long history. Could these flood myths be an echo of such an event, passed down through countless generations? The possibility raises a multitude of questions. How did these ancient civilizations, scattered across the globe, come to share such strikingly similar stories? Could they have been describing the same cataclysmic event, a global reset that marked the end of one epoch and the beginning of another? And if so, what could have triggered such a devastating event? These questions lead us deeper into the realm of the ancient flood myths and their potential implications. As we delve into these narratives, we find ourselves treading the fine line between myth and reality, fact and fiction, history and legend. In the search for answers, we may just unearth secrets buried deep within the annals of human history. To unravel the threads of this mystery, we must first step back in time, tracing the rivers of human civilization back to their source. This journey takes us to the cradle of humanity, the Fertile Crescent, a region in the Middle East fertile enough to support the growth of some of the earliest human societies. Here we encounter the ancient Sumerians, a civilization whose existence stretches back to the 4th millennium BC. The Sumerians are often credited with the invention of writing, their cuneiform script etched into clay tablets, providing us with a rich record of their culture, their beliefs, their fears, and their myths. Among these ancient texts, we find the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known pieces of literature in the world. Contained within its verses is a flood narrative eerily similar to those found in other cultures. In this epic, the god Enki warns the hero Utnapishtim of an impending deluge, instructing him to construct a boat to save his family and all species of animals. The flood comes, wipes out all life, and then recedes, leaving Utnapishtim and his companions to repopulate the earth. This account, which predates the biblical story of Noah by at least a millennium, suggests that the flood myth might have older and deeper roots than previously thought. Meanwhile, halfway across the globe in ancient Mesoamerica, the Maya civilization was carving its own path through history. Despite being seemingly isolated from the Old World cultures, the Maya too had their own flood myth. In the Popol Vuh, their sacred book, the gods flood the earth to destroy humanity, who had displeased them. These parallel narratives, separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, present a compelling pattern. The deluge, the divine warning, the vessel of salvation, the rebirth, it's a tale told time and again across cultures, continents, and epochs. As we traverse sacred geographies and ancient timelines, we start to see a pattern, a shared memory woven into the very fabric of human mythology. This pervasive narrative of a catastrophic flood suggests that ancient civilizations could have been grappling with a common event, a cataclysmic reset that left its mark not only on the physical landscape, but also on the collective human consciousness. These myths, then, could represent our ancestors' attempts to make sense of a world-changing event, to find meaning in the chaos, and to pass down a warning to future generations. The echoes of this ancient catastrophe might still be heard in the myths and legends that have been passed down through the ages. Indeed, such a widespread narrative, deeply embedded in the human psyche, cannot be dismissed as mere coincidence. It is here where our investigation deepens, as we probe the intriguing sources that have shaped this narrative over millennia. Let's consider the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in the mid-20th century, these are a collection of Jewish texts that shed light on the religious practices and beliefs during the Second Temple period. Among the scrolls is the Book of Giants, a text believed to have been based on the Book of Enoch. It tells a tale of fallen angels and their giant offspring who corrupted the earth, ultimately leading to a divine flood as a form of retribution. Parallel to these religious texts are the whistleblowers of antiquity, who dared to speak out, despite societal pressures. Consider the example of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. He recounted the story of Atlantis, a mighty civilization that had supposedly existed 9,000 years before his own time. According to Plato, this advanced society fell out of favor with the gods and was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. Could this be another interpretation of a great flood? A mysterious manuscript of the 15th century, known as the Voynich manuscript, adds another layer of intrigue. Filled with botanical illustrations, astronomical charts, and an unknown script, its origins and purpose remain an enigma. Some interpret the manuscript's obscure aquatic diagrams as depicting a flood event. Archaeological finds also provide tangible evidence that supports the flood narratives. Take the Black Sea deluge hypothesis, for example. Marine archaeologists have discovered traces of an ancient shoreline deep beneath the current water level of the Black Sea. This suggests a rapid rise in water level around 7,000 years ago, a cataclysmic event that could have wiped out existing civilizations and triggered mass migrations. From the forgotten corners of ancient libraries to the depths of the Black Sea, a myriad of sources converge on a single narrative. These texts, whistleblowers, and archaeological discoveries form a mosaic of evidence that suggests a great flood event, a reset that forever altered the course of human history. This doesn't merely hint at a shared mythology, but rather an attempt to record and remember a catastrophic event that reshaped the world. The whispers of this event have echoed through the ages and continue to reverberate in the myths and legends that persist to this day. At the heart of this investigation lies a theory that challenges our understanding of history, science, and human civilization itself. This theory suggests that ancient flood myths, often dismissed as mere folklore or religious allegory, may in fact be collective memories of a real global cataclysm, a cataclysm so vast and devastating that it reset the course of human civilization. This theory is disruptive, not only because it suggests a forgotten epoch of human history, but also because it raises questions about our understanding of the past. Mainstream historical narratives present the development of human civilization as a slow, gradual process, evolving over tens of thousands of years. The flood reboot theory, on the other hand, proposes a sudden, dramatic interruption to this process. So, what anomalies can be found that support this theory? Well, one of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the sheer ubiquity of flood myths across diverse cultures and time periods. From the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Hebrews in the ancient Near East to the Greeks, Romans, and Celts in Europe. From the indigenous tribes of the Americas to the ancient civilizations of India and China, and even the Aboriginal people of Australia, virtually every culture has a flood myth, Could this global convergence be mere coincidence? Or could it be a collective memory of a shared experience, a worldwide cataclysm that affected all humans, regardless of where they lived? This is where the theory begins to challenge mainstream history and science. Another anomaly is the evidence of sudden cataclysmic changes in the Earth's geological record. This includes the Black Sea deluge we discussed earlier, as well as other evidence of rapid sea level rise and sudden climate changes around the same period. These events, often dismissed as local anomalies, align surprisingly well with the timing suggested by the flood myths. There's also the mystery of technologically advanced civilizations, like the Sumerians and Egyptians, that seem to have emerged almost overnight, fully formed, with little evidence of gradual development. Could these be the descendants of an earlier, forgotten civilization that was wiped out by the flood? The flood reboot theory also challenges our understanding of human psychology and memory. The persistence of these flood myths, their striking similarities despite geographical and cultural differences, suggest a deep, primal memory imprinted on the collective unconscious of humanity. Indeed, these anomalies present a compelling case for a more in-depth investigation. The sheer scope of this theory defies mainstream history, logic, and science. Yet, as we delve deeper into the world of ancient flood myths, we find ourselves in a labyrinth of mystery and possibility, where every turn unveils a new perspective on our shared human past. Shrouded in mystery, the evidence supporting these ancient flood narratives is not merely anecdotal or symbolic, but also physical and scientific. Modern methods of dating and analysis have unearthed compelling data that aligns with these ancient stories, challenging our understanding of the prehistoric world and its cataclysms. Radiocarbon dating, a tool widely used by archaeologists, has revealed artifacts and fossils that trace back to the periods these myths speak of. The Black Sea deluge, known to have occurred around 5600 BC, is corroborated by radiocarbon dates of shells from the sea floor. This sudden influx of seawater into what was a freshwater lake aligns with the timeline suggested by the flood myths. But it's not just about dating, it's also about construction. The mysteries of megalithic structures, think of the pyramids of Egypt or the stone circles of Stonehenge, add another layer of intrigue. Their precise alignments with celestial bodies, their incredible durability, and their use of sacred geometry all point towards an advanced understanding of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy. The sophistication required to build such structures raises questions about the capabilities of our ancient ancestors. Could the knowledge used to create these structures have been part of the legacy left by a pre-flood civilization? This theory finds further support in the field of DNA studies. Recent genetic research has identified a bottleneck in human DNA around 70,000 years ago, when the human population suddenly plummeted to between 3,000 and 10,000 individuals. Could this bottleneck be a genetic echo of the survivors of a global catastrophe? And then there's the baffling precision of sacred geometry found in ancient sites across the globe that cannot be dismissed as mere chance. The pyramids of Giza, the Nazca lines in Peru, the temples of Angkor Wat, all these constructions exhibit a profound understanding of geometric and spatial relationships that modern science still struggles to fully comprehend. Yet, despite these tantalizing hints, the flood reboot theory remains, to a large extent, unexplained by modern science. The sheer scale of the cataclysm suggested by these myths defies our understanding of natural disasters. The advanced knowledge implied by these structures and symbols challenges our assumptions about the development of civilization. And the persistence of these flood myths in the face of millennia of change and cultural evolution is a testament to the enduring power of shared human memory. As we delve deeper into this labyrinth of ancient knowledge and forbidden truths, we are drawn ever closer to the tantalizing possibility that these myths may indeed be echoes of a shared global catastrophe. The evidence, physical, scientific, and perhaps most compellingly, psychological, beckons us towards a new understanding of our shared human past, one that embraces the mysteries of the forgotten world. However, not everyone agrees with these interpretations. Mainstream academia, government institutions, and media have often sought to debunk, discredit, or bury the flood reboot theory. A variety of reasons are given for this. The academic world, for example, tends to adhere to a strictly linear model of human development. This model proposes a gradual evolution from primitive societies to complex civilizations. The idea of an advanced prehistoric civilization that was wiped out in a global cataclysm disrupts this narrative. It presents a cyclical view of human history, where knowledge can be gained and then lost, only to be rediscovered or reinvented millennia later. This is a perspective that challenges the very foundations of the current paradigm, making it a theory that is often uncomfortable for mainstream academia. Institutions, too, have their reasons to dismiss the flood reboot theory. Governments, for instance, are often tied to the status quo. Any theory that fundamentally alters our understanding of human history could have far-reaching implications on everything from national narratives to land rights. It is not uncommon for vested interests to suppress information that could destabilize the established order. Media, on the other hand, often caters to the prevailing beliefs of its audience. A theory as radical as the flood reboot theory may not appeal to a wide audience, or may even be viewed as fringe or pseudoscience. Consequently, media outlets may shy away from reporting on such theories, or worse, actively dismiss them. The skepticism and resistance faced by the flood reboot theory may also be due to the nature of the evidence itself. Much of it is indirect, based on interpretations of ancient texts, myths, and archaeological sites. The lack of direct, hard evidence makes the theory vulnerable to criticism and dismissal. Despite these challenges, however, the flood reboot theory continues to intrigue and inspire. A growing number of independent researchers, historians, and scientists are exploring this theory with an open mind, fueled by the tantalizing possibility that it might offer us a new perspective on our shared human past. Their work, carried out often in the face of skepticism and ridicule, is a testament to the enduring human quest for truth. And so, the debate rages on. Is the flood reboot theory a credible explanation for the mysteries of our ancient past, or is it just another fanciful myth? The quest for answers continues, even as we navigate through the labyrinth of knowledge and secrecy. The evidence, as it stands, suggests that there may be more to our history than meets the eye. And it is in this spirit of curiosity and exploration that we continue our journey into the realm of ancient flood myths. As we delve deeper into the flood reboot theory, it's fascinating to consider its implications on a spiritual and metaphysical level. If indeed our ancestors experienced a near-extinction event that reset civilization, what does that suggest about human origins, consciousness, divine purpose, or even cosmic design? Firstly, let's contemplate human origins. If the flood reboot theory holds water, then it suggests that our history, as we know it, is merely a small chapter in a much longer narrative. This could mean that humans have experienced multiple cycles of civilization, each one erased and restarted by cataclysmic events. This recontextualizes our place in history, making us part of a cycle of rebirth, destruction, and renewal, a concept deeply embedded in many spiritual traditions. Similarly, the theory could offer new insights into human consciousness. Ancient flood narratives often speak of a time before the flood when humans had a different, perhaps more enlightened state of consciousness. The flood is often depicted as a form of divine punishment for moral degradation or spiritual decay. If we were to accept this premise, it could imply that our ancestors possessed a level of consciousness that we have yet to fully understand or recover. Next, consider the implications for divine purpose. Flood myths across cultures often depict the flood as a divine act, intended to cleanse the earth and start afresh. This resonates with the idea of a divine force or higher power guiding the course of human history. If the flood reboot theory is accurate, it implies that our existence may be part of a grand cosmic plan, under the watchful eyes of a divine architect. Lastly, let's reflect on cosmic design. The prevalence of flood myths in disparate cultures might suggest that such events are woven into the fabric of our universe. Some scholars have even linked the flood reboot theory with cyclical cosmologies, where the universe itself undergoes periodic cycles of creation and destruction. These spiritual and metaphysical dimensions of the flood reboot theory are speculative, of course. However, they invite us to question and explore our understanding of human history, our place in the universe, and the nature of existence itself. They push us to look beyond the physical and tangible, into the realm of the spiritual and the metaphysical. It's a reminder that our quest for truth about our ancient past is also a journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. The flood reboot theory has permeated not just our historical understanding, but also our contemporary culture. It is an enduring narrative that has found its way into various forms of media, each contributing to the ongoing discourse and shaping the way we perceive this ancient theory. Documentary films and television series have woven the flood reboot theory into their narratives, often using it as a basis for exploring ancient civilizations, mystical beliefs, and alternative history. These productions typically combine expert interviews, historical evidence, and compelling visuals to present the flood reboot theory in a digestible yet thought-provoking way. They bring to light the profound implications of this theory and its potential to reshape our understanding of human history. Books, both fiction and nonfiction, have also delved into the flood reboot theory. Authors have used it as a backdrop for epic tales of survival and rebirth, or as a basis for scholarly investigations into ancient myths and legends. These narratives further embed the theory in public consciousness, allowing readers to explore its implications in a more intimate and personal way. In the digital age, the flood reboot theory has found a new platform: social media. Short-form videos on platforms like TikTok and YouTube have made the theory accessible to a global audience. These videos, often created by enthusiasts or amateur historians, present the theory in a condensed, simplified format, making it easy for viewers to grasp the essence of the theory and its implications. Online communities on platforms like Reddit and Quora have become hotbeds for discussion and debate around the flood reboot theory. These communities provide a space for individuals from around the world to share their ideas, interpretations, and personal experiences related to the theory. They serve as a testament to the enduring fascination with the flood reboot theory and its ability to inspire deep, thought-provoking conversations. The proliferation of the flood reboot theory in modern media is a reflection of its enduring appeal and relevance. It speaks to our collective curiosity about our past, our fascination with the idea of cyclical civilizations, and our desire to understand the deeper metaphysical aspects of our existence. The theory has transcended historical and cultural boundaries, evolving into a global narrative that continues to captivate and enlighten. This portrayal in media and modern culture is not just a testament to the power of storytelling, but it's also a recognition of the flood reboot theory's potential to provoke thought, incite debate, and inspire a re-evaluation of our understanding of human history. Whether we believe in the theory or not, its presence in our cultural discourse is a testament to its enduring influence and the profound questions it raises about our past, our consciousness, and our place in the cosmos. Peeling back the layers of orthodoxy, we find a subculture of esoteric thinkers who gaze upon the ancient flood narratives through a different lens. They posit that the tales of global catastrophe and rebirth may have been more than mere metaphorical or spiritual allegories. They may have been narratives documenting encounters with advanced civilizations, extraterrestrial life, interdimensional beings, or lost technologies. In the realm of ancient astronaut theory, for instance, proponents suggest that the flood myths could recount a time when extraterrestrial beings visited Earth. These beings, they argue, might have possessed sophisticated technology capable of causing global cataclysms, perhaps as a means to reset humanity's development for reasons we can only speculate. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the Hindu Puranas, and the biblical tale of Noah's Ark are reinterpreted by these theorists as potential evidence of human interaction with advanced, non-human entities. The Ark, they argue, might have been an advanced spacecraft or survival pod, capable of preserving life through a cataclysmic event. Interdimensional theory, another fringe perspective, posits that the flood myths could hint at the existence of multiple dimensions or parallel realities. The flood could be an allegory for a shift or reset in dimensional realities, a cataclysmic event in the fabric of space-time itself, witnessed and interpreted by ancient peoples in the only way they knew how, through the metaphor of a great deluge. Then there's the theory of lost civilizations and forgotten technologies. This perspective suggests the existence of advanced ancient societies like Atlantis or Lemuria that perished in cataclysmic events, their technology and wisdom lost to time. The flood myths, in this view, serve as a collective memory of these lost civilizations and their dramatic end. Lastly, the idea of hybrid bloodlines emerges from the shadows of esoteric thought. This theory proposes that the survivors of the ancient floods were not entirely human, but hybrid beings, perhaps the offspring of humans and extraterrestrials or other dimensional entities. These hybrids, it is suggested, may have carried forward unique genetic traits or knowledge, seeding the civilizations that followed. These fringe extensions of the flood reboot theory, while speculative and controversial, open up new avenues for interpretation. They inject the ancient narratives with a sense of cosmic wonder, reimagining our past and challenging our understanding of what is possible. They remind us that the search for truth often leads us into the unknown, where mystery and revelation dance in the shadowy corners of our collective consciousness. And so, we find ourselves standing at the precipice of the unknown, gazing out into the abyss of possibility. The ancient flood narratives, these stories etched into the bedrock of our collective memory, hint at a past that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. They speak of an epical reset, a cataclysmic event that wiped the slate clean, erasing civilizations, technologies, and perhaps even species from the face of the earth. The theories we've explored raise haunting questions, echoing through the corridors of our understanding. Are these flood stories testament to the existence of advanced civilizations lost to time? Could they hint at interdimensional realities or encounters with extraterrestrial beings? Did a hybrid race, the offspring of humans and otherworldly entities, survive these ancient floods to seed the world anew? These questions unsettle us, challenging our understanding of the world and our place within it. They compel us to dig deeper, to question more, to shatter the glass ceiling of accepted truths and explore the starlit expanse of possibilities beyond. What if these speculations aren't pure conjecture, but hold kernels of truth? What if the survivors of these ancient floods were indeed hybrid beings, their bloodlines laced with the genetic material of non-human entities? What if they carried with them not just survival instincts, but an inheritance of knowledge and wisdom from their ancestral civilizations, which they used to rebuild in the aftermath of the floods? The most haunting question, perhaps, is this: what if it's all true? What if the flood myths are not just stories, but historical records, encrypted in metaphor and allegory, of a world that once was, and of a cataclysm that reshaped it utterly? What we are left with, in the end, is a sense of profound wonder and an insatiable curiosity. We are left with questions that reach out into the void, probing the unknown for answers. We are left with a thirst for knowledge, for understanding, for truth. And perhaps that is the most powerful legacy of these ancient flood myths. They remind us to question, to explore, to never accept the surface of things. They implore us to delve deeper into the mysteries of our existence, to seek out the hidden, the forbidden, the unexplained. So we continue our search, our quest for truth, guided by the echoes of our ancient past. Armed with questions, we venture forth into the vast unknown, ever eager to uncover what else is being hidden, ever ready to challenge the accepted narratives, ever willing to entertain the possibility that our world, and our past, is far stranger and far more magnificent than we could have ever imagined. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Forbidden Knowledge Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.